Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Congressman Jim McGovern, and I want to thank you all for being here. I'm proud to be here with my colleague, Congressman Jake Auchincloss. Jake, thank you for helping to arrange this, and this is my sixth stop in my statewide End Hunger Now tour. And I want to thank the Boys and Girls Clubs of Metro South for hosting us, especially Eric Heim and Monica Lombardo and the whole team here in Taunton. I'm happy to be here with Representative Field as well. We just toured the Blue Spoon Community Kitchen, and you can feel the second you walk in that the work that goes on here matters. This is a 2,700 square foot certified commercial kitchen that can help prepare nearly 150,000 meals a year for families in Taunton and Brockton, and that's a lot of meals. It's a lifeline for a lot of people in this community. And what makes this place special is that it's not only about feeding families today, it's also shared use infrastructure that supports local culinary entrepreneurs and small producers who need a certified kitchen space. It's strengthening the community and building opportunity at the same time. It's really inspirational. We also saw something else just now that's incredible, the Freight Farms greeneries. Even though it's icy and snowing out, we went and viewed it. Hydroponic farms inside shipping containers that can grow fresh produce year-round, no matter what the weather looks like outside. And believe me, for those watching, the weather is awful right now. Across 3 freight farms, they can support over 30,000 plants at once, using as little water as possible. That's the kind of innovation we should be scaling up, not starving out. We also had the chance to sit down with young people here at the club. I want to thank them for speaking with us honestly about what food insecurity looks like and about how the food here matters, and about all the incredible activities that go on at this club, and what it means to be part of this club, and how important it is in your lives and the lives of your family. I focus a lot of my attention in Congress on hunger, and hunger is a problem in every single community in this country. There is not a zip code in America that is hunger-free, and I see it every day in Worcester, where I'm from. People putting food back on the shelves when they go to supermarkets because the price of food is so high. My sisters are public school teachers in Worcester. I know how harmful it can be for kids to come into school on a Monday on an empty stomach. They can't focus, you can't learn. And right now, hunger is getting worse in this country, and it's not by accident, but it's happening because of choices being made in Washington. And I appreciate the leadership here in the state. Democrats and Republicans in the state seem to get it. We have a different issue in Washington. We have a Congress right now that has taken a wrecking ball to food assistance. Nearly $200 billion, this billion with a B, has been cut from programs like that feed kids and seniors and Americans with disabilities. Meanwhile, we're providing tax breaks to multimillionaires and billionaires and corporations. When families can't make ends meet, a lot of time they come to places like this for food. And yes, but also for support, for community and stability, and for hope. And so that's why I'm doing this tour. I want people to see what works. I want to go back to Washington, with Jake, and we want to talk about what we saw here. We want people to replicate your model. You are a model for what should be happening all over the country. I want them to meet organizations that are holding communities together, like this place. And I want Washington to stop sabotaging them. We can end hunger. I always say that hunger is a political condition. We have the resources, we have the money, we have the food, we have the people doing the work, but what we don't have right now is the political will. And I think you're showing us by example why obtaining that political will is so vital. So Jake and I are going to keep showing up and shining a light on what's happening, and we're going to keep listening and working to make sure that no child in Massachusetts or anywhere in America goes hungry. And the final thing I want to say, I want to go back to the young people who we talked to. I wasn't joking when I said, I hope you all run for something someday. Your eloquence, your wisdom, your compassion, really gives me hope. There's a lot of bad things happening in the world right now, but there's some really good things happening, and it's happening right here in Taunton. So I want to thank you, and with that, I want to yield to my friend and colleague, a great congressman. You're lucky to have him, Jake Auchincloss.
Thanks. I appreciate your comments, Jim, and he always speaks so eloquently about food. But food security is foundational to financial freedom, to public health, and to education. And as Congressman McGovern said, because of political choices being made in Washington, food security is being undermined, despite the fact that, as he said, we have the food, we have the money in this country to ensure that nobody of any age, but particularly our young people, need ever to feel hungry. I really appreciate that the Boys and Girls Clubs of Metro South have really shown us what works and what right looks like, speaking to these young men and women about the diverse nutritional food choices that they have every day, and seeing the freight farms and the Blue Spoon experience. This is something that we need to scale, not just across Massachusetts, but across the country. It's really inspiring to see on both sides of the equation. It's the production of the food, both the biotechnology of hydroponic farming, and also, of course, in the kitchen and the cuisine and the gastronomy of creating food, and then, of course, the appreciation of food when it's on your plate, about what nutritious, diverse food can look like. So I really admire the work that you're doing, and as Jim said, it's incumbent upon him and I to go to Washington and to continue to press this case. And I'm so fortunate to have as my neighboring colleague somebody who, over the last several decades, has really become the nation's moral conscience on food security, and who is understood and respected on both sides of the aisle as someone who is laser focused on solving this issue. So thank you for your leadership on this, Jim.
And now I'd like to yield to Derek Heim, who's the CEO, and thank you for welcoming us here today.
Thank you. First, I'd like to start by thanking Congressman McGovern and Congressman Auchincloss for being with us today and bringing to light the importance of food security in this region and ensuring that our young people are heard, because that is the most important work that we do. Food insecurity is one of the most urgent and often invisible challenges facing our young people and families in our communities. It means not having a consistent access to enough nutritional food to live a healthy, active life, a condition measured nationally by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. For many youth, food insecurity is not just an occasional hardship. It's a daily source of stress that affects their ability to learn, grow, and fully participate in school and community life. The work here at Boys and Girls Clubs of Metro South is deeply connected to healthy food security, because the young people who walk through our doors deserve that basic human right. For many families in the region, rising food costs and economic pressures create uncertainty about where their next meal will come from. By providing reliable access to healthy snacks and meals in a safe, supportive environment, the organization is thriving, our young people are thriving, and Massachusetts is thriving. All of this is illustrated daily by the amazing team of staff who work here each and every day, including our teams in our Blue Spoon Community Kitchen, our freight farms, and all of the amazing staff that help make our young people thrive and succeed. Addressing food insecurity is an investment in equity, opportunity, and community well-being. When we ensure that all people are nourished, we remove a major barrier to success and stability. Food is not just a basic need. It's the foundation upon which healthy development and strong communities are built upon. Thank you for being with us today and spreading the message of why this work is so important.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And again, I want to acknowledge Representative Field is here, and I want to thank her for all the great work she's doing on Beacon Hill. Let me just close with this. You know, I do this radio interview every week, Thursday mornings. It's out of the western part of the state. And the person who does the interview ends every interview the same way. He'll ask, what gives you hope? And, you know, and when he asks me next Thursday, I'm going to say all of you. I mean, the young people here, the staff, the members of the board, all those who support the Boys and Girls Club here. This gives me hope. You know, and again, you are a model. And we need to find ways to help other communities be able to do what you're doing, so that every child in this country. Every young person in this country has these opportunities. And I look forward to working with you. And please know we're going to brag about you when I go back to Washington. I'm going to brag about you. You know, I'll say you're in Jake's district, but I'm going to brag about you. And again, I look at all of you as teachers too. So I want to learn from you, and so we can kind of help the rest of the country do what you're doing. And the final thing I'm going to say is, and when people say to me, you know, oh, we have limited funds, you know, so we can't invest more in nutritional programs, we just don't have the money. Let me just say, food insecurity and lack of access to nutrition is extremely costly. You know, I mean, people who don't have access to food, young people who don't have access to good nutrition, they can't learn in school. You know, workers who go without meals on a regular basis are not productive in the workplace. Senior citizens who take medication on an empty stomach end up in an emergency room. There are healthcare costs here that are quite expensive. There are productivity costs that are quite expensive. And we want to make sure that every young person can reach his or her full potential. And that requires that we get this right. And so we can't afford not to deal with this. The fact that it's so hard for us to understand how important this is frustrating, but we will get there. And again, thank you for allowing me to come by, and I appreciate it, all of you. All the best. Thanks.